Okay, moving on, old business. Trash dumpster.
You'd asked me to get some prices on some chain link for around the dumpster. We called Wally Eldridge and he basically told us that 80 by 80 would be about $14,400. If we wanted to take 20 foot off of it, you could knock about 2,000 off of it. Now David did price some panels like was up around the grocery store during building erection out there. And we could get enough panels to go around it, posts and cement and all, or maybe even not the cement for 6,000 or less for movable type panels. So if we did, want to change the way that we let them in or out, and we could just chain two panels together, that'd be you guys' choice, but that would make it a little more versatile to be able to fit around the dumpsters. We can move the dumpsters to a point after he drops them, but we have to just kind of shove them and drag them because they're strictly forward and back. So, if that was an option that you wanted to look at, well, that's about what we come up there. The other thing was with the cameras, we really didn't find anything that's that would capture on movement, except for maybe just a good high quality game camera or something. If we did have trash in there that didn't belong, we just didn't really see anything that really fit the needs of, I think, what we're really looking for. So,
Jeff, you said City of Stafford has it in their yard. What's the problem with us putting it by the fire station? Because if we have guys there or traffic.
nothing except we park there, but we'd have to leave room so they could get up there. Now theirs, if you've been by there, it's north of the power plant. Inside, of course, all their yard is fenced in. But no, I don't have a problem doing it that way. I mean,
if you think we can make it work, whether it's on this side
the
or...
problem would be, it'd be trying to get them dropped and picked up, I think, without busting the curb, trying to take them on and off. That'd be my only worry. Other than that, no, I don't have a problem with it at all. I mean, we can keep an eye on it down there, but it's the weekends that's the problem. I mean, people will bring stuff in there like you cannot imagine. But I don't know.
That's the thing down there is no eyes down there at all.
Just the camera's the only thing we've got. And I mean, we do check it. But usually by the time that somebody hauls in a truckload, if there's 10 bags of trash under there, you ain't gonna get them. But I mean, I don't know that we could watch it any better up here, but maybe out in the open, in the line of sight, people would have a little more of a guilty conscience about what they throw in. I don't know.
If it's there, it's not out in the township road.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that'd be my only worry is the way that guy loads those. I'd be, if he'd drop it off the edge of the curb, we might bust the curb there. Because it'll take up pretty much where the guys park, if that's what you did with it. So.
It'd be up to you to figure out wherever you think it could sit.
I think I'd still rather like it down there. I mean, I think it's easier to handle and stuff down there, and it's kind of protected by the wind this time of year from the building. And when we do, we can at least get the trash picked up. We keep a tarp in the dog pen down there so we can tarp it down. So I mean, if we wanted to isolate it any more than that, why, that's your call. Whether you want to fence it and lock it up, or what you want to do.
Is that 80 by 80 with gates, big gates for it to
Yes,
go in?
with 2 gates on each end. Yeah, $14,399 is what it was.
Is there any way you think you and the guys could do that fence?
We probably could. I don't know a lot about stretching chain, but we can. I mean, this was just a 6-foot fence.
Oh, 6
I
foot.
think I'd almost rather use the panels if we were going to do that. At least they'd be more flexible.
You could move if you needed to.
I know when we were working out at the grocery store, we could pull one of them posts and get in there where we needed to, or pick them up and swing them around. We could also maybe utilize the garage and that old well house, some of that, at least during this time of year. Now in the summer, if we have to generate, it wouldn't be a very good place for it, but I don't know. We could get a whole lot more out of 150 or 60 foot of those panels by utilizing part of the building, I think, and being able to lock, that's your call whether you want us to lock it up on the weekends, or have my guys on call lock it and unlock it. I mean, they're by there every day. So, but I just think versatility wise, we'd be better off with the panels, I think.
I wasn't listening, did you get us a price on those panels or not?
David looked them up and we looked them up through Orscheln's. Orscheln's has them and they're basically like a big heavy duty dog pen panel, I think's what they are. But we might go to a rental place in Wichita or somewhere where they rent that fence and see if we can buy them that way. That's one thing we haven't done. I think it's a little better quality fence, probably. So,
I think if you make it inaccessible, the trash will just be outside the fence.
I'm afraid you're right.
That's human nature.
Yeah, I mean,
If they'll
when
either-
we cover it up, people dump it beside there.
If it's inaccessible, it's either dumped out in the county road ditches, like
Someday,
tires.
yeah, you're
Tires are
right.
out there.
You're exactly
You
right.
dump-
I
if you
won't
fence
argue
it
with
off, It's
that.
gonna be dumped outside your fence.
At least here we have a camera, we can kinda halfway catch
I
it.
kinda know that they're doing.
I mean,
it.
maybe put a little better quality camera out there than what we've got, but at least we can see. I mean, we can usually pick out who it is, so.
They do it at Goodwill. Goodwill's not open, they just throw the stuff out the front door.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't imagine the stuff we get in there. I mean, you just can't. Everything from feed sacks to trash sacks to,
I mean, wouldn't you guys agree that that problem would, it would help the problem to have it down here?
Yeah, I just don't wanna really look at
Mhm.
it.
If the trash would be going in my yard,
yeah.
Well, that's your problem.
Well, and that's the thing, you know, at least down there, we can kind of control it. I mean, not great, but if we can keep an eye on it, we usually try and get a tarp before the fact, because they won't take it once it's over full, see?
'cause the
We'll
good
mash
thing
it a
about
couple of
getting
times,
the
and we
Dillons,
usually
trash
tarp
doesn't end up in my yard anymore.
But sometimes after we call Pam, it might be 3 or 4 or 5 days before they come get it too. It's just the luck of the draw, so.
Well, I think that the pro on moving it over here would be, most people wouldn't want to throw something in there with fear of being caught.
I don't know whether
Or
it's the
maybe,
case or not.
I don't know whether it would be, you know, but.
On
you know,
Friday, maybe, on Sunday, no, probably
yeah,
not.
just but there's still people walking around here, so people see stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm with Ryan on this. I'd rather not see it over here.
Well,
but
see, the other thing
I don't
is
have a
too, we
problem
mash it with the backhoe and it takes quite a bit of room.
Right.
We swing out to the south of it usually and take the hoe and mash it down, so it takes 40 feet on top of, you know.
So what if we put it down here, but also had a picket fence or vinyl fence around it?
The trash is gonna be outside the fence.
I think we still run
Down
to-
here, there's a lot less wind because of the church and the fire station though. I mean,
Yeah, I don't know whether it is or not, I'd about argue that point, I think. That building down there is pretty long, and we protect a good share of it. Most of the time, it's in the middle of the building, you know. And at least if it goes south where we can see it and nobody else does, and we get it picked up, so.
well, we gotta do something.
I'll do whatever you ask.
I agree. I just like to.
Marshall's
Look at
been
it
quiet
a
for
little
quite
bit.
a while.
It's an awful lot of money to spend on,
Yeah.
But you can have a lot of guys with a stick out there for 14,000.
Yeah, I mean, we take pretty good care of it most of the time.
I don't see it's a problem. Where it is.
A couple of times we've had to pick up trash, but most of the time we catch it early enough that it, you know. And like I say, we do keep a tarp in the end of the dog pen where we can tarp it down, so.
I'd say look at trying to find a camera of some sort if you're gonna keep the dumpster
Let me
out
see if
there,
I can
forget
get a
the
little better
fence.
graded
It's just
camera
gonna end
there.
up outside the fence,
Okay,
and then ticket the crap out of them when
Okay.
you catch them.
I'll do some looking, I'll
Not
see what I
to
can find.
chime in, but we just bought a new security system called Arlo. It's wireless, you buy it by the number of cameras you wanna buy.
Uh-huh,
Runs off a unit, but it only turns on when it senses motion. It's completely waterproof. It might be something to look at. It's
we can
only
pick up the
consumer
vehicles and
reports says-
everything moving there, I mean, you know, I don't know.
Where do you check for cameras at?
We got, well, I looked several different places on websites, but our original camera system came through Randy Clark. And so we've got cameras out the dump, and we've got cameras down there and several other places, but, you know, in order to be basically compatible with what we got. There's only a certain amount of things that we can put on it without going to the expense of opening up and buying something basically just for that one spot, you know? I mean, it's not hard to run back through there and see in a 24-hour day. If we catch something in there, usually from the time we quit till the next morning, we'll find out who it is. You know, the weekends are the big deal. I mean, that's when you get dumped on and you have no idea, but all in all, you know, we keep a pretty good eye on it most of the time. It's the loose stuff on top that gets away, that shouldn't be in there anyway, so.
Council thoughts?
Might check the Golden Belt telephone too. I don't know if it's anything compatible with what you guys
Might-
have down there.
yeah, I
but
don't know.
they sell them too.
Okay.
When you're saying compatible, you're saying to hook it to our system that we
With
have
the
now
system we
somehow?
have, because it's on my phone, it's on the other guy's phone, because we watch the panel board and stuff, and inside the plant and around the plant. So switch gear and the primary stuff out in the sub and that stuff, we keep an eye on it, so. Yeah, I'll do some checking, see what I can find out. Sure, glad to.
The council adopted the dumpster fee ordinance last time, but the council hasn't really instructed me to do a resolution to establish that fee amount. The ordinance allows you to adopt a resolution setting that fee when you want to. Purpose being so that anytime you want to stop it or increase it, you don't have to pass a new ordinance.
Right.
Is that something council wants to do?
Thoughts?
I've heard $1, I've heard $2.
Oh, fee for, yeah. A dollar probably wouldn't still cover what we pay to have it dumped every month.
Right, it does.
How many bills would it be on? Yeah.
Oh, it's depending on how much trash you get. Like last time I
How
think
many
there
bills
was,
do we send out?
how many
800 or
bills?
something.
About 800.
Okay, so $800 a month. And depending on how many times it's dumped,
I
it's
think
an
the average is around between $8 to like $1,000
So you
monthly.
wouldn't recoup all of it, but you would recoup a good portion.
Put $2 on statement, you've covered the cost.
I wouldn't go that far.
Neither would I, I've already got pushback from the dollar.
I don't have a problem with a dollar.
Neither do I,
But
but
I've heard several people telling me, don't care if it's $2 either. So, you know, there's
I'm gonna pay
a certain amount-
$36 a year and not ever use it, so,
I've heard a lot of people use it.
which I'm fine with it.
It's nice.
It just comes back to if you wanna look at your neighbor's trash in the yard or if you want it to be in the dumpster.
I agree.
Sorry.
I guess we can always revisit it, you know, if it starts getting dumped more than what it is right now, then we can raise it. Like John said, we can always raise it without passing a
But
resolution.
even then, right now, we're still depleting that fund that it's being
Yeah.
pulled out of.
But you're not depleting
Yeah.
it near as quick.
Right.
And sometime we don't dump like 4 times a month
Sure.
either.
Right.
Like you're making your money back, sometimes we only have to dump twice, but still.
So what do we need to do, John?
Just
so we
direct
don't
me to draft it somehow.
Draft it for
draft it
$1.
somehow, John?
I'd do $1.
dollar, yeah.
Set
Draft it for $1.
for $1. Okay.
Does the council want to go ahead and get a dumpster back and then go ahead and do this camera deal in the process, or what do you want me to do here?
We need to do something. I'd hate to get more calls in the next 2 weeks.
I know there's been a lot of people come by there and see that it's not there and went on,
So I mean, you're saying like if you checked into the cameras, like,
I'd go ahead
I
and
can
get
do
it,
that, I
I'd go ahead
can
and
do
get a
that.
dumpster back and see if we can't try to monitor it and keep looking at camera stuff.
I'll try and get you some camera stuff.
I'm not really looking forward to spending $14,000 or even $6,000 for fence.
No,
Cause I think you're right, people will show up down there and if they can't get in, it's just gonna be piled by there and you're gonna pick it up anyway.
yeah, that's right.
But I think maybe some better signs and,
Yeah.
John, if you.
Could we put a fine on there
Yep.
for dumping in it? Could we do that? Would that help?
You've got a standard offense fine.
I mean, we've basically put in English and Spanish both what we don't want in there. But, there's
Maybe bigger signs.
there's no fine, so.
Bigger signs with a fine on it and
You're being watched.
Big red letters.
Yeah.
This under,
I'm
this
watching
area's
you.
under, this area's under surveillance signs
I'm
maybe.
watching you.
But I'd get those signs up on some posts, you know, instead of on the ground with the barrels and
Okay,
make it,
okay.
Jim's address in case they witness illegal dumping.
that'd be fun.
You wanna put a fine price on there?
Yeah,
Don't
up
you
to
usually, you said
$1,000.
up to $1,000, didn't you, John?
I mean, that's the way the one at the tree site is, it's up to $1,000, I think. Only difference between that dumpster and that tree site is if the state lady catches it at the tree site, she'll lock the gate.
Up to $1,000
Okay,
or
Okay.
imprisonment up to 179 days.
Man, I can't get a sign that big. I mean, I can, but,
yeah, okay.
all right,
Does that
we'll
answer
take
your
care of it.
questions?